You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the town of Swanzey.
Call the meeting to order. Pass up. Please, check. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for a regular meeting, January 22nd.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Did you add anything with them?
No. But I don't know if you want to do it for that, or I think we've been voting on it, but we had a nomination to the Energy Commission. So we'll do that after. That was to be something.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public input.
I'd like to ask Mike Bradley. Susan Johnson called me and said that you were handling a situation for her.
Yes, sir.
And have you received that check from Pete Johnson's estate yet?
No, sir, not that unless it might have come in today and somebody can tell me.
She told me that she sent a check for $25,000 to Whitcomb Hall, and what I need to know is how can we spend that? And it spells that out in his will. And so if I could have a copy of that when you get it, I'd appreciate it. I thought it was going to be more, unfortunately.
Very generous.
Somebody donated $25,000 to this?
Whitcomb Hall, yes.
Excellent.
Pete Johnson.
Pete Johnson did?
That's amazing.
And
That's awesome.
$25,000 was donated last year for the Main Street beautification, which includes Whitcomb Hall lights and Christmas decorations and all that. So that's like $50,000, and because of Whitcomb Hall being here in West Swansea, just in this last year. And Pete, I thought, was going to match Marion Brown's gift for the Historic Museum, but he had some trouble toward the end with the management of the hall was going. They didn't like it, unfortunately.
So your concerns is how it's spent that money into this hall? It's basically for here.
It's for here. I know it's for here, and I know it's for upkeep.
It's for what?
But I don't know. I don't have any other
Upkeep.
to upkeep the building. And
Like painting the building?
what's that?
Like painting the building?
It probably could. I don't know that because I haven't read.
Oh, he wrote some things when he sent it in. He said he wrote.
Well, there's restrictions on
There is.
the gift, and that is to maintain the facility. And so I'm hoping that I can get a copy of that so I understand what he really wanted.
It's very generous. So,
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your service to West Swansea and the town of Swansea.
Yes, sir.
You've done a great job for us.
Any other public input? Seeing none. New business, request to sell Girl Scout cookies at Town Hall. It's a hard no, right?
Probably something normally just let it do.
that's last year, didn't
I think so.
They do a drive-through
Drive-through,
thing,
yeah. So,
I think it was something they started during COVID. The drive-through part of it.
yeah, that's right.
they? Maybe they could do it as an open house at the fire station. Pull the trucks out.
Drive-through fire station, put out some cookies, good idea. No concerns with that, right?
Consensus? Don't forget to go buy some cookies. This was in here.
Oh, yeah.
Just put that in.
Have to buy some for the donkeys. Is that awesome?
All right. Painting RFPs for Town Hall and Whitcomb Hall.
So last year, as you know, we tried to get proposals for Whitcomb Hall. We waited a little too late in the spring, I think, so trying to jump on it early.
Good idea.
So the town hall, especially with a lot of the other sprucing up, is starting to show some of the areas that didn't hold up so well. So I don't know if you want to do these together, do one and then see how it goes, and then do the other one, or sort of be able to get going on it. So
What's your thoughts on
Yeah, maybe we get
the
it.
front half of the Grange? That still needs some paint, right? No, I'm serious.
No, it really, yeah.
Right,
I'd like to
without
wait.
too much,
I'd like to wait and see, hear what we hear next week.
What, can you refresh me what's, actually, I missed the beginning of this. We're talking about getting bids for painting?
request for
Early.
proposals.
Request
Request for proposals, RFPs.
Oh, okay.
So we
because
put an
last
ad
year we
out.
waited until later in the spring or early summer, and initially got no quotes, and then got quotes that we thought were fairly expensive.
So how did we get into the Grange? It was for the Grange and this, you think?
No, Whitcomb Hall and Town Hall need it, but we've been trying to paint at least the front of the Grange.
So it
the
looks
past couple
decent
years,
and when people go by.
just to stop, yeah.
Well, getting bids ain't gonna hurt us getting them early. I think it's a good idea. I mean, so we could, maybe we could get it out of the way. And
It's the same white, right?
last year, we were gonna try to paint this hall, weren't we? Last year, was it? We didn't get it done.
Brought it up, but they couldn't find a decent price.
Yeah, it was too high, right?
And I think probably one of the prices was acceptable, but it wasn't the greatest price in the world. But it was acceptable, it was reasonable. And when you do it this year, we'll try to find somebody that's a little more reasonable and see if they can do it this year.
When you want to have the bids in mind.
But as our official painter told me, we should pressure wash the building every year and get off the dirt, so we don't have this maintenance problem in the future.
Very good, consensus?
I think it makes sense anyway with what you suggested, because if we get blowback next week, then it just doesn't get, isn't a part of it.
Just on the board. Do you want one vendor for all three, or do you want to piece them out separately?
Whatever works financially, right?
Yeah, I don't know if you maybe, if it's too big, I really don't know the logistics, and if it's sometimes better to lump stuff together, sometimes you make it too big and you make it so the little guys, just either way, kind of their option.
You can word it like all or partial, right? But
Or if there's
Yeah, we're gonna take bids for 3 different buildings.
so just the,
What is
sit in
that?
front, what side did you
Say
say?
the
the
front, I mean, if you want to hop over and just look at it and see if
little-
the north or the south really need it, you know?
Okay. Yep.
Contract for general assessing with Marazoff assessing.
So this was, we talked about this a couple weeks ago now, it was down in the wire as of like 3:30.
Yesterday.
It's at a point where Christine and I are comfortable with it. We've added some language and it's within the amount we have budgeted for this. And it's a 1-year agreement for general assessment.
Do we normally do a 3-year?
No, I think normally we've done them in either 4 or 5 year blocks along with the revaluation.
And what again is the reason for a single year?
Just to see if we can work out some challenges we've had over the last year or so, 6 months. Primarily communication based, not value based, but admin and follow up.
So normally, we've done contracts for a longer period of time.
Correct.
You want to cut this back to a year because you felt there's some issues and you would like us to see if we can fix these issues so we're not locked into a long term.
Correct.
Can we continue with these issues? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, correct.
So is it 25
Yes,
for 1 year, for this particular year?
correct.
We're coming up to the appeals. So,
Well, those are covered under the last, the abatements
Amen.
for this reval, we're in the last reval contract, so those are all.
so even if we didn't do this, he would be on the clock for those. Oh, okay.
So we do have a choice to say no and yes.
Yeah, but I don't know what your alternative is. We need someone to do general assessing for this year. We got all those nice commercial developments that we want to get on the tax rolls. We need
Correct.
a licensed assessor to, or certified assessor to.
And so this would just come back to the table in a year from now, before the year's up.
Correct.
And just, is he aware of that you're gonna cut his contract down? And you actually told him that this is why I'm doing that?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Do you wanna keep this?
You've already-
Consensus?
Consensus, or you want a motion?
Either way is
You
fine.
want the signature?
I already got the signatures.
So do we need a motion to accept the one-year contract?
Consensus, maybe,
Okay.
as we signed. Deliberative session preparations as needed.
So it's needed. So we have to finalize the budget warrant at last meeting. Got everything for Monday.
Sound system?
Sound system?
Sound system.
I will make sure that is functioning.
Ready here?
So we're upstairs.
Jackets ready?
Functioning sound system.
Garrett's guaranteed.
So what is our alternative? We have, what's our plan B when the door opens up and we fill up upstairs and we have no more room for people? Are we gonna have a plan B, or are we just gonna jam them in upstairs?
There's a lot of seats when you consider the balcony.
Okay. I'm just wondering, should we think about using downstairs somehow, but I know what it would take. It would take another, it would take something down here, right?
You want to get the, talk to the school about, in case we need it,
I think that was a bad
could
idea.
adjourn them.
I don't know, I just think I'm scared of having not a backup plan, because that means how important it's gonna be for everybody to hear this, and we're gonna stand there and, uh-oh. I don't know, and this is a big year, I think a lot of people could show up. No?
I don't think the school, I think you either do the school or you don't do the school. I don't think you do it as a backup, trying to get people from here over to the school.
No, not at that time. I think it would have to be at least a week later, right?
I think if you adjourn to a date, if you recess to a date and location certain, I don't think you have to re-notice it.
No.
But we will have our attorney there, so.
Oh, wait a minute, are you saying that if so many people show up, another date, they go to the school, and we say no? Wow.
No, we're not saying that. No, what Sly is suggesting is that if we are overwhelmed with people, that we postpone the meeting to a time and date certain, and we'd have to coordinate that with the school to see what they have available.
Would we have to call it to order and then
Yes. Yeah, and then we'll keep the meeting.
adjourn it, or what's the?
No.
Recess it.
Recess it, and then reconvene.
Yeah. And that's what we did when we had the blizzard.
You want to call on Monday and just, or, I'm sorry, tomorrow, thinking this is Friday, right?
Would you want at the auditorium, the annex, don't care?
The annex is going to be big enough for this auditorium.
If this isn't big enough. Yeah.
And, try and do it as close to Tuesday as you can, only, meaning probably a Saturday,
It'll probably be Wednesday or Saturday, right?
because that's going to kick our town meeting a little bit, right?
No,
Do we
I think
have
that's still-
17 clear days or something? or-
Because you can have deliberative as early as this Saturday, which the school does, or as late as the following Saturday, so I think as
So
long as you're
we'll
within
shoot
half
for
of
the
that.
following.
Yeah.
I think going forward, we ought to do that anyway, just for weather issues, have a backup.
Have a backup. Well, that's up to Bruce. So he would have to have that coordinated.
Right, but can't we pick the location? We did the
That
location,
is
as well as
right.
calls a meeting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We gotta make sure he's available.
Make a note for Wyndham next year. else on deliberative session?
So that's our plan B, we're gonna go to the school and change a week later or
If
whatever.
we need it.
Okay.
I'd like to suggest that we do sort of a hybrid town hall, or town meeting, where we have the department heads prepared, Michael prepared to have their spreadsheet put up on the screen, so that if we do get an amendment requested to reduce the budget to either level fund or 1.4% increase, which is what was proposed at the budget hearing, that we could call on the department heads, including Michael, to indicate what items would have to be pulled out, because we'd be looking at about a $500,000 reduction in addition to the $400,000 reduction we've already done. And that way, people would understand. I don't want to be there with somebody saying, I make this amendment to reduce the budget to 1.4% increase, and it's up to you to figure out how to spend it.
And that's what you have.
Yeah, and so I want people to
See where it's coming
see
from.
where it's coming from. And
Now, that same meeting, it was brought up, I believe, that the school was at 1.4%, but then I read in the Sentinel there 3.
no, it was 3. It was said it was 3.
And he said that?
Yeah, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said it was 3.
I thought he said 1.4, and that's what he wanted us to do.
I think you might have said that's what you wanted them to be at.
Yeah,
Or maybe he's gonna bring it up for them too.
yeah, that's fine with that, whatever. But I don't want the onus to be put on
Yep.
the two of us plus one. People deserve to know where the cuts are going to be made. That would be the least painless, as opposed to draconian
We
stuff.
wouldn't even know that.
No, but the department heads would know. Like Joe DeRusso could say, just for.
If you cut me this, I won't be able to do West Street.
Not necessarily that way, but he could say, we're budgeted to do these roads, $300,000, we cut $100,000 out, these are the roads that we postponed, which will push them up to next year, and that's the residual effect, or however he wants to do it. But at least give the department heads the opportunity to really look at their budgets and see what they could cut. That's my thought.
So the taxpayers, they see what it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen, the end result of the default budget.
Right, as opposed to a surprise.
That's right.
What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Recording in progress.
Bob? I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
So you basically, we're gonna put the screen up, and then we can put the big budget sheets right up there with the department head up there, so everybody can see it. That's what you want, right? Makes sense. Good.
I just think what we talked about and worked out with Michael are cuts that some of which is money that's budgeted just in case. We're not going to find 4 police officers April 1st, but we have to budget for that. So we've cut some of that out, and understanding that they may not come in until June or August or whatever. But now we would be really making, yeah. So what do people want?
Right.
Bob?
I would suggest that we plan on going to the school, because that way, if we're a little short, that's fine, but if we have the room there, we don't have to reschedule a meeting, so that'd be my suggestion, that we just go for the school, period.
Yeah, we've already posted the meeting for Tuesday here.
Oh.
So we'd have to meet here and
Okay.
then reconvene at the school.
Okay.
If we do change, so,
Okay.
thank you.
And if we do that, we can make that announcement, or Bruce can make that announcement up to 2 hours prior to the meeting. I think that's what we did for the school.
I think weather is a specific, you wouldn't
Oh, is
know,
it
you wouldn't know that
specific?
you're
Yeah,
gonna
you
have a lot of
wouldn't
people 2
know,
hours before either.
So we'd have to
We'd
just
have to see how many people show up.
Call for a person.
call for a vote. That's right.
Anything else on deliberative? Administrative update.
I'm leaving.
I had no idea the last time we met about that.
Yeah.
You say this every meeting.
I think you're bluffing.
Hold out for more money.
Bluffing.
Is it really a pierogi restaurant in Wyndham?
I'll let you know.
Is that where you had to go to Wyndham?
We're not talking about that.
I figured you for either Peterborough or Bethel.
Correspondence?
Just, I wanted to note that I added some more things to the pending board matters projects, trying to add a little more detail for some of those. So we had a kickoff of the wastewater treatment plant study. I think Joe mentioned that at a prior meeting. We had a site visit and meeting with the state, so that's looking at completion potentially by October. And the solar array at West Swanzey is, West Swanzey solar, solar plant, sewer plant is underway, hopefully getting the trail up there. We're still trying to determine if they have to go to the zoning board or not for site for a setback variance
Which one is that?
for the solar array.
Oh, solar array.
Route 32 at Martin Brook, is that not on the schedule for this year? Or-
Not on the schedule for this year.
Nice.
Where's the hole?
No, I don't think any single place, but just state and engineers. It's a combination. It's still slow progress.
Big July floods probably.
I think it's different conditions and stuff, but maybe.
The new governor's gonna have her challenges with DES.
Public input. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to go in.
But yeah,
Bob?
I have a question. Since Michael's leaving, who's gonna have anybody take over the interim?
We're gonna discuss that.
So I have a recommendation.
Fill it out, the application, and give us your resume.
No,
and
no,
everything.
I don't want it. It's the young lady that sits over at the end of the table.
She's not there now.
No, she disappeared. Would she leave town too?
Megan?
Because of
Yeah.
personnel issues, we need to discuss that in non-public, so,
We appreciate your suggestions.
yes, thank you. Anything else?
Taking us out.
Looks like we're looking for B, Jimmy.
Make a motion to go in non-public under B.
Kaczynski.
Aye.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
You're the first one.